I'm proud to present at Charnwood Boxing Academy, If Only You Knew. And believe you me, it's gonna be an experience.
You man, respect for coming.
It's fine.
Respect for being here. We're here to reason about certain topics in my book, If Only You Knew. There's certain things that I can remember being a young teenager, some of the issues I had to go through, not really being able to use my voice how I wanted to use my voice. I know one of you have read the book and one of you haven't. I know for you, Anton, you've read the book. What comes up for you when you read it, my brother?
Just like facing adversity and all that, just coming up from a hard, bringing life like upcoming, and you know, like facing different challenges day to day on a day-to-day basis.
I feel like it's more relatable because, for example, the first chapter, it's called The Child, right? Like, you're talking about how like parents belittle you, and but I can kind of relate to that because I feel like growing up I was more mature, more independent, so I can rely on my own. But when I get into like altercation with my parents, they kind of belittle me. But
I definitely can hear where you're coming from, and even that part is like being able to talk to your children in different ways as well, you know what I mean? Like you might have one child that's one way, another child that's another way. They love you, but they might not fully understand the journey that you're going through and kind of like almost how to communicate with you because we're going through different stages in life.
It's very enlightening, it's very relatable to different paths of the world. Knife crime, like you talked about, it was more than just a physical problem, it was more of a mental problem among the society, which really stuck out to me.
I feel like the simplicity and like the way that the front cover is playing, I feel like that stands out because it's more of like perception through the person that is reading it.
The fighting aspect of it. Like growing up, you have to always like prove yourself and like show that you're not like a different type of like weaker person to like these groups of people.
That sounds like great feedback you just gave me, my bro, man, and I appreciate that. Some of the issues that I spoke about, I really wanted people like yourself to really be able to relate and engage.
Reading that, I'm kind of understanding how people in the society kind of find it very hard to open up to people that they should be able to open up to. And I guess when you don't do that, it builds up, and I guess that kind of leads to a lot of problems like knife crime and like violence in our youth societies.
Do you find it hard to communicate, and do you think people understand really what's going on inside your mind?
No, definitely not. I feel like you're never really gonna get your point across to someone completely, and I feel like that's where boxing helps.
To activate, because you know that really when you're in the ring as boxers, and I know you're quite experienced as well, you know in the ring that there's a certain energy that you have to kind of control, but if you just get angry and lose it, that energy is zapped. And I can kind of relate that to like even the roles. It's like when you just let go, your energy is zapped, and then you've also given your power and control to somebody else. You know what I mean? And it's the same in the gym. When you're just doing what you want to do, your opponent.
Control of you now.
Right. Boxing for me was like my first stage. You see how some people, musicians, they can go out and do their thing. That was never really me. I always didn't really want to be seen. Boxing was the first stage that I could be like, almost like get my mic out and perform, you know what I mean? So, find it easy to express yourself?
it's not really, because I feel like they'll look at you as weak if you try to express how you really feel. And not everyone you can open up to you, because they might take advantage of you and stuff. So you just have to be careful who you share information with, you know what I mean?
100%. What about you, my bro?
I agree with what he's saying as well, but at the same time, like, I'm a very emotional person, but in terms of like, I have like a lot of anger inside me, but I feel like another chapter I relate to is boxer, because you're saying like when you walked in, you felt like home. At the same time, I feel like that, because like when I come to boxing, I can let off steam, express myself in different ways, like punching on the bag or punching on the pads, and like it's kind of my way of expressing myself and my emotions, and makes me calm and stable.
There's been times in my life where I haven't really expressed myself for years, to be honest. Some people do it through music, some people do it through art, some people do it through boxing. Boxing was one of the ways I found to express myself, but writing, I only really knew that writing was, I don't know, a skill, a talent, or a way to express myself in my late 30s. Have you ever tried to express yourself via writing, like writing journaling in any way, or?
No, not really, no.
Is that more because you don't want people to see what you're writing, or is that more because you just don't feel the urge to really write and express yourself. Urge to write. Yeah.
I'd rather like just sit there and just go through it by myself. Rather than like write it out.
When I was writing it, there was, as my little bro was saying earlier, like a spiritual aspect, because the book was spiritually led. It was like almost like the spirit just allowed me to just keep writing. What you two bring may be something that I can't bring. You know what I mean? We've all got our own strength, we've all got our own weaknesses. And there's a part of the book where I do talk about building your strengths and not really so much focusing on your weaknesses. Working on your weaknesses, but also working off your strengths more so as well, you know what I mean? Because some people lose belief and they start feeling like they haven't really got much worth. And that's why it's easy for them to just latch on to anything. I remember what it was being 16, like not just like in thoughts, in feeling vividly. You see the future, but I want you to kind of like also bring it back into the present moment and understand that anything that you want, bring into your moment now.
Yeah, start from now. Yeah.
There's a part in the book where I spoke about the dynamics of school. Is there any part of that you could relate to?
So when you talked about the unfortunate event that happened when you got searched by your teachers, I could relate to that almost. It was almost identical in my situation, both how it was a serious situation and you didn't necessarily understand it at that moment in time. When I was the age of 14, the teacher come in the class and singled out my bag, asking whose it is. Then she took me out of class in the school. That hadn't happened to nobody else, and nobody really talks about certain stuff like that. So reading it gives me something to go off of, feeling that not as solo in this world kind of thing.
When I wrote the book, I was in different modes, and sometimes I was actually in my teenage mode. You know what I mean? Like going through that process. I got to this stage, and I thank the Most High that I'm here. Happy that I got the chance to write the book, express myself, and so people can kind of
Connect,
connect.
Another thing that I really liked about the book is how you're more of a narrator than you're the main character of the book. One question I did wanted to ask is, while reading the Jessica anecdote at the beginning, I just wanted to understand more of the reasons of why that's in there.
Yeah, there's a character called Jessica, and in the book she's a character, but I used the name Jessica to pay tribute to somebody that was close to my heart, a girl called Jessica who passed away from a brain tumor. That character plays 3 different roles that are kind of different in some ways. Tribute to Jessica's name, it's putting Jessica in the position of my son, of having a void of not seeing their father. The reason I used Jessica and I used a girl, boys are not the only ones that have the void of not being around their parents. Young girls are as well. I want to talk to the girls out there that don't see their father. So overall, again, much love, respect for the reasoning, and I hope you get to go into the book, and I appreciate you reading the book, my brother, More love, reading this book, and I hope you get time to tap in and read the book too, my brother.
Of course.
Yeah? More love. More love, yeah?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You man killed it. You man killed it. You man killed it. You man killed it, bro.